I'm going to press Alt-Tab to switch back to Blend, and I'm going to take a look at the names of my timelines. Alright, I have great and I have very good. Let's hook up the great timeline first. So I'm going to open my quotes and just type the name of my resource. Now, just like getValue, findResource will return an arbitrary object. I don't want an arbitrary object. I need to treat this as a storyboard. So I'm going to say as storyboard. Now at the moment I've got the storyboard, but I'm not doing anything with it. And I can't just return it, I need to actually interact with it. So I'm going to go to the beginning of my line, and I'm going to declare a new variable of type storyboard, great storyboard equals. Now I could again name this whatever I wanted. I could just call it great or anything like that, but I'm using a meaningful name so I can use it later. So now when this line is executed, the great storyboard variable will have my storyboard in it. So on my next line, I can call great storyboard dot, and here are all the methods that you can call on a storyboard. Conveniently, one is begin. Now begin has got a handful of different ways that you can call it, and I can scroll up and down with the arrow keys to find the particular override that I want. Simply enough, in this case, I just want to use this. You can notice here that the framework content element or the framework element is simply the containing object. What all of this means is that we need to pass the object or a parent of the object that the storyboard was defined on. Since all my storyboards are defined on my window, I can just say this, since this always refers to my window. So now my code will find the resource, it will find the Great Wave storyboard, and it will begin it every time my game good word is called. The line up here in window 1 says every time the engine has a good word happen, it will begin that storyboard. So let's take a look at what's actually happened. I'm going to press F5. My application will run. I'm going to start a new game. I'm going to type a word, and when I press return, great, my audio clip is played for me through that whole process. So if you want to be specific, I typed the word ion, I pressed enter. When I pressed the I, the O, and the N, the event handler for the key press on the text box was called, but since the key didn't match what we were interested in, nothing further happened. I pressed enter, and that submitted the word. When I submitted the word to the engine went through and said that this is a good word, so it raised a good word event, which I then heard on my side, used that, and called the particular storyboard that I was interested in. You may be a little uncomfortable with this process at first, but as you get used to it, you'll find that your ability to send messages back and forth to your developer is actually quite simple. My developer has no idea that I'm going to use his good word event to work with timelines or storyboards or anything like that. And I don't really care what my developer does to determine if my word is good or not. We've just established this communication so that I know how he's going to signal something, and he knows how I'm going to signal to him. Now in this case, let me go ahead and start my game again. As I type words, great, great. Unfortunately, I'm hearing the same clip over and over again. This could get a little annoying, so let's go ahead and add a little extra code to change how the behavior is, depending on other elements in the scene. So let me close this and switch back to Visual Studio.